3, 2, 1. Welcome to the David the Dog Trainer podcast episode 226. That's the first time I ever messed it up, I think.
That is.
Today we're joined by Jess Hansen, Everywhere Dog Training, from Pittsburgh. I was going to say Pittsburgh, Ohio. Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Are you okay today?
I'm not okay. I'm not okay. What's up?
I'm here.
Jess is here doing our shadow program right now, hanging out, talking dogs, dealing with our antics.
Yes. Yeah.
A lot of antics have been had over the last couple of days. Yeah, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Okay, so we'll do the typical cheesy start of tell us about yourself, tell us about your company, tell us about how you got started.
Yeah, so in 2018, I adopted a dog, and she ended up being human and dog aggressive. So, start looking around, trying different things, and nothing was working. So I ended up finding a balance trainer in my area, and that's kind of how I got started with everything. Then I got involved pretty heavily in dog rescue, and after COVID happened, that was kind of when I realized I could take my chance to start my own business, and I started doing board and trains and private lessons out of my house, and the rest is history.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
Tell us about the human and dog aggressive dog. Because I think whenever we clients are put in this position where they have a dog that is like a serious risk / liability / big behavioral issues, stuff like that, it does force you down this route of if you actually want to get past the problem, I don't want to say you have to be a dog trainer, but you have to acquire a level of knowledge that's significantly higher than your average pet owner needs to.
Yeah, absolutely. So when I adopted her, she was still sick. So she was emaciated, and they had pulled her from this bad situation. And at that point, she wasn't really showing what she was made of, right? So she was still in the shelter environment, and they said, she's dog friendly. Obviously, they didn't realize she had any issues with humans. And then once she came home, she got healthy and she felt comfortable. That's when everything started to come out. So the first sign was really, really severe reactivity in the house and on the walk. So that's when you start with all of the positive training stuff, and you never think you're going to own a dog that needs an e-collar, a prong collar, any of that kind of stuff. Yeah. And then when I realized very quickly that what I was trying on my own wasn't working. And it's like food doesn't solve behavioral problems, right?
Yeah.
So, like I said, I found a balance trainer, and then I realized how quickly working with the e-collar and using training tools, how quickly we were able to start making progress. Yeah. But yeah, it's really, a lot of owners, they don't realize what dogs are capable of, right? And so until you see a dog fight, until you see a dog that is actively trying to go after a person, you don't realize how serious these things can very quickly become.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you still have that dog?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, she got sick.
Yeah.
So
Understood. Yeah, for sure. That's tough. It's funny you mentioned the you always thinking you'd be the person that never used the e-collar or prong collar. I remember my first introduction with those types of tools where it was I was eased into it. So I got Vera, and excuse me, she was I wanted to do training, and I work with different trainers and this and that, and I the first trainer that I started working with used the Star Mark pinch collars, right? And for me that just was different than a prong collar. I was oh, it's this collar and it kind of does the same thing, but the pinch collar, just when you're not familiar with them, they look so scary, where I was oh my gosh, I would never use that. And I remember at the same time while I was going through training, I was a part of this group, Pitbull Zen, which was a local Cleveland pit bull group that was ran by these two Cleveland force-free trainers. And I was just a new dog owner at this point, just posting videos of my dog training, and I really enjoyed training, so we were doing fun stuff and everything. And people were talking shit that I had this Star Mark pinch collar on and stuff like that. And I remember trying to justify it in the group, because at the time I didn't know anything about these force-free versus balance or anything like that. And I remember being in the group, I was I would never use one of the metal pinch collars. This is just you know, like this is just like a little teeny bit of like discomfort to like help with the pulling. She's such a big puller. And like tried to be like the typical owner that was like trying to justify them.
Yeah.
Right. But I remember even at that point thinking like, how could they be so mad about this? Like I would never use the metal one.
Yeah.
And then I remember the first time I worked with like a real balance trainer that was like, hey, we're using a prong collar, right? We're using an e-collar and this and that. And I was like, oh, okay, right. And like I got it all fitted up. And at the time that was when like, you know, having your dog wear a prong collar for like a month before you ever fucking use it was like really popular and stuff. Yeah. And you know, the rest is history, obviously. But that was like my first experience with the prong collar, and my first with the e-collar. I remember I talked about this before. Same deal. I was like working with that same trainer, and I really wanted to start progressing to off leash. And this guy at the time was, you know, he was just like a trainer that worked for this boarding company. So like he had a little bit of knowledge, but he wasn't an expert by any means. So his dogs, like he was starting to train for off leash. And I remember he was like using an e-collar with the dog and stuff. And I was like, oh man, I really want to do that too. Like maybe I'll go get an e-collar. And I went to the pet store to go buy one. And the guy that I bought it from, I remember I was like, yeah, I want to buy this e-collar. And he like, I don't want to say like scared me so bad, but like he was just like, you do know that is negative reinforcement, right? And it's like funny looking back at it now because it's like, well, like kind of, but like also it could be a lot of other things, but like whatever. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, so you're sure? Like you want to use that? I was like, yeah, like bro, like you sell it here. You work somewhere that you sell it. Just sell me the fucking e-collar. Yeah. And I remember I took it home and put it on Vera. And I went for a walk, and I was like trying to do what I saw this guy doing with his dog. And the first time I hit the button, it was like just a little too high, and Vera just like jumped like 2 feet up in the air when I hit it. And I remember I was like, oh my God, everything the guy said at the pet store was right. And I went and packaged it up and took it right back and returned it. Because I had like no level of knowledge of those tools. So I'm curious. So what was like your first experiences with the tools?
I was going to say, that's giving me flashbacks to the first time I gave my dog a correction.
Yeah.
Like it's over. I give up. I can't do it anymore. But I think it was good for me because I was doing private lessons.
Sure. You had somebody to kind of hold your hand through it.
Right. And again, it's like I was at my wit's end. Like we had to do something. So yeah, but giving that first correction, it's very scary. Yeah. And, you know, when you're on the trainer side, it's, you know, you have to really think about it sometimes when you're walking owners through it and just the hand holding that you have to do because it's not that scary.
Yeah, it's not, but it's so funny, like, as we're like talking out loud, they're important reminders for us of like, you know, we could get of the mindset some side of like, why don't you just fucking correct your dog kind of thing. But like I look at like, you know, my response the first time I ever saw I gave a correction that was meaningful to my dog and she was like, holy shit, I didn't like that. And me being like, oh my God, I'm like ruining everything kind of thing, you know? Yeah. So that is so important. What about you? Oh yeah, no, I know I'm a fucking idiot. Yeah, see, my brain isn't working today. Yeah. I'm like, what about you and your first experience with it? This guy brought his dog to training with me fucking, you know, forever ago.
Yeah, I got it. My previous relationship, she had 2 dogs. And the one dog...
Psycho dogs.
Yeah. Psychos. Titan, R.I.P. actually. He passed away last year, finally.
Did he?
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah, I mean, he was like 12.
Yeah.
I think he was pretty old, but he hated dogs. Hated a lot of other people too. But the last straw was we had some friends that brought their dog over to play with our other dog. That was okay. And they were in the backyard, and we had like this little breakfast nook that looked into the backyard. And we had just like the windows open, so like the screens were in, and he just busted through the screen, like through into the yard. I was like, oh my God. It was just like, I had to like tackle him, and there was like a whole thing. And that's when I was like, all right, I was like, listen, because she was on the fence about everything, but I was like, we got to get this dog trained because this is crazy.
They're
like,
big too. Like they're big ass dogs.
Yeah. He was like a big like German Shepherd Rottweiler.
I mean, he's definitely on the fat side of things also, but like he had to weigh what 110 pounds or so, right? Like somewhere around there. Do you know?
Yeah, he was definitely around the 100.
And then like what Kilo was the other one, right?
Yeah, Kilo was the little pocket pit.
He was big too though.
Yeah.
I mean, you said pocket pit, like he was like. He's a big dog too.
Yeah. He was probably like 50 pounds. I'd say 60 pounds.
Yeah.
But
really? No, he's more than that.
No.
Really?
No.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, dude, we're talking like almost 15 years ago at this point.
I
But
know, that's crazy though.
Yeah, but the same thing. I was like, my background is I grew up in southern Indiana, and we had outside barn dogs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, you don't need no collars. They're fine. I don't know. I gave myself a little
Is that how it
southern
goes?
accent. Yeah. But, so this was the first time I was like, okay, we need help for something. So we come to him and put him through the ringer with this freaking dog.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, this dog was he was a lot.
Yeah.
He was a lot.
Yeah. It was a lot. Tried to attack him plenty of times.
Yeah.
Had to put him like kind of, it was bad. But it was the same thing. I was just like, I don't know what we're going to do. And he was like, oh, we got a prong collar. We're going to get him e-collar trained. Like, you got to get this under control. And I was like, okay. And then, the first time we took him in, like, he's doing the controls, right? Like, okay,
doing the controls.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, it works or whatever. But then when we come home, I remember the first time, it was like, he was like really, we had a bunch of squirrels. There's men are on the lake, and there's a bunch of trees everywhere. Dude loved to just want to kill squirrels. And we hit him one time, and it was the same thing. He was like, oh! But it stopped him immediately. I was like, I have the power!
Yep.
I mean, it was a little different for me, because I was like, this dog definitely needs it. I'm whatever needs to be done, do it,
Yeah.
When you're like at your wit's end with a dog, it definitely makes it a little bit more understandable. You know what I mean? But there are even a lot of people though that have dogs. Like I know, like Ollie's owners, like when we were at their house yesterday, like they were of the mindset that, like initially when they came to training, like even though they saw him like at his absolute worst, like the idea of using like a higher level on the e-collar was still like a lot for them to get past. You know. They very, very much had always worked him like lower, like in their training sessions with their dog. Use like 10, 20, 30, stuff like that. I remember the first time I said like, yo, like turn your e-collar all the way up right now. They were like, what? And I had to like walk them through, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, that was, that's always a big thing for people, is helping them get past, giving bigger corrections to their dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely like the first perception was like, I'm going to feel bad about doing it.
Yeah.
But then I realized like what I'm actually doing. Like,
yeah.
It's just a communication of like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. How and the dog rescue stuff, or do you still do a lot with rescue?
I do. We almost always have a foster dog.
Yeah.
So I usually get, the ones that need a little more help.
Yeah, sure.
So the rescue I work with, I'm actually very, very happy to have found them, because in Pittsburgh, they're truly the only rescue I have found that allows tools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally every other rescue is force-free.
Yeah.
So they won't even, no prong collars, definitely no e-collars, even slip leashes.
Really?
are spooky some places.
That's interesting, because I feel like that's like the universal tool of rescues is like slip leads.
Yeah. So no tools, period.
Yeah.
And so East Coast Bulldog Rescue is the rescue that I work very closely with now.
Awesome.
And the girl that runs it she's amazing. We pull dogs from all kinds of different places, take in dogs with behavioral issues.
Yeah.
And because, she trusts me and the other trainers that volunteer as well.
Yeah.
You're the expert. Do what you have to do to actually help this dog and adopt it out. I actually fostered a dog over the summer. His name was Waffles.
Hey.
Did you actually? Man, that's the third Waffles that I've ever seen now.
Yeah.
Same temperament as this Waffles, right?
So, funny story. So he was adopted out. He's like a 40-pound pit bull. He was adopted out, and he was 2 weeks after this lady adopted him. She called the rescue and said, this dog is aggressive.
Yeah.
So we talked about the word aggressive earlier this week.
Yeah,
actually,
we did. Yes.
Which is funny. But this dog is aggressive. He keeps attacking me, is what she said. So the girl, Sarah,
all the trigger words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sarah from the rescue, she starts asking, all the important questions, can you elaborate, basically? So she said he keeps, again, 5-month-old dog that has had zero training.
Yeah.
He keeps jumping up and nipping at me. So then she changes her story to he is attacking me and he keeps biting. Uh-huh. So he's aggressive. I'm afraid of him. I can't have this dog in my house anymore. So Sarah from the rescue says, can you please send me a picture of your injuries?
Yeah.
The lady's sitting in a chair, and she sends a picture of her legs, and she just has a couple bruises on her legs.
Sure.
Again, a 5-month-old pit bull with no training.
Yeah.
And in the picture, the dog is sitting in between her legs. Yeah. This aggressive dog that she can't have in her house anymore.
Yeah.
So at that point, the lady takes him to the vet and gets him put on trazodone. Mm-hmm. So he's all, again, no training, not reaching out for help. She just wants this dog sedated, essentially. Mm-hmm. So she brings him back to Sarah's house, and the dog's riding in the front seat with no collar, no leash on, nothing. So if a dog is aggressive,
right,
are you really having it ride in the front seat of your vehicle unrestrained?
Right.
So then he came to my house, and there was nothing wrong with him. He was amazing. He was so cute. We did basic obedience with him, and my friend's son actually ended up adopting him.
Nice.
And he's great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Waffle's the pit bull, man.
Yep.
The aggressive attacking Waffles.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, the words, we talked about that, the other day, where it's like so many people loosely throw around, like we'll get calls, people tell me like, hey, my dog is aggressive, or my dog is attacking me, or my dog is attacking other dogs. And it's like, you have to dig so much deeper into those things, because it's not to take away from the fact that this lady very well felt uncomfortable having this dog jumping all over her and nipping at her and stuff like that. But there is such a big difference between an unruly puppy and a dog that is actually aggressive and attacking you.
Right.
And it's like, you do have to play the like word semantics game a little bit, and like, hey, like let's pick different words to use.
Right.
Because like the problem is, like, there are plenty of rescues and shelters out there that if this person went to them and said, this dog is aggressive and attacking me, they won't ask more questions. They'll just be like, oh, this is an aggressive dog, and we should actually be concerned about it.
Yep.
Right.
And we even do that like at our facility, because like we have a lot of staff that handles the dogs and stuff. So it's like we have to be a little bit extra careful about, the dogs that are coming in and like taking face value of words and stuff like that. But like, a large bulk of the dogs that come in for training, and I'm sure you experience this as well, come in for some type of quote unquote aggression issue, right? Mm-hmm. And if we treat all of those dogs like they really are aggressive dogs, even if they have had bites in the past, it's going to cause us to be way too controlling and over the top with those dogs when they come in, where it's not going to allow them to like open up as quickly as if we look at the individual incidents, get to the bottom of why they happened, and determine, is this something we actually have to be worried about or not?
Right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And too often, like same with like dog attack. Like we have Sammy, that like pit bull that I've been doing the tug stuff with the last couple of days. He came because he's attacked a dog a couple of times, right? But like we looked at the individual situation where it happened, and we were like, this doesn't seem like he has a dog issue. This seems like it was like the wrong recipe of 27 things going on at once that led to this. So because of that, had we initially tried to socialize him and like put muzzles on him and done all of this, like we have to be mindful of the fact that like doing those things is going to add an extra layer of stress into the equation and potentially not let you see the real dog, right? So weighing out and balancing as a trainer that like how much do I like control and put in safety protocols versus like loosen things up and just kind of see how big of an issue it is such an important skill that I feel like we have to like learn,
Yeah.
So obviously you do fosters with the rescues a lot. Does this rescue have like an actual location, or is it all foster based?
It's all foster based.
Okay.
So basically they all come into Sarah's house, and then she determines, basically who should be fostering them. She'll keep a lot of the medical dogs at her house.
Yeah.
Then there are people that take the easier, puppies, and it's called East Coast Bulldog Rescue, but it's all different shapes and sizes.
Yeah, sure.
So it all just depends on the dog and their issues.
Yeah.
I actually have a new dog coming in next week when I get home. It's an Old English Bulldog.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's another puppy, and no real issues. It's just people get dogs and they they decide they don't want to keep them anymore.
Yeah. Fucking bulldogs, man. What's your favorite breed to train? I'm going to ask you the question that all of my clients ask me.
I like the mutts.
You like the mutts?
Yeah.
Why?
I think because they're all so different.
Yeah.
I think just the personalities, and I also really enjoy working with people that adopt dogs.
Yeah. Sure.
Because it's, not only did you go and you saved this dog, but you also are trying to do right by it.
Yeah.
So
True,
you're willing to, like all these owners I was amazed by them.
Yeah.
The amount of work and time and money and everything else that they've put into keeping him.
Yeah.
Because most people wouldn't.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. Oh, also, by the way, just to not interrupt this conversation, but I did tell the listeners that I would show Ollie's before footage on today's podcast episode. So let's pull that up real quick, because we haven't done that yet. I had a comment on you because we've talked about Ollie so many times on the podcast.
Yeah.
And We had a commenter comment like, "Hey, I'd love to like actually see some like video of this dog." So I'll play it right now here for the viewers.
There you go.
For the viewers, and then I'll send it to you, Josh, and you can take a little peek-see at it. Paige, when did you send this to me? Dude, social media keeps fucking changing everything constantly. It's driving me crazy. Okay, here we go. 2 minutes and 44 seconds of fucking Ollie. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Here we go. We'll let it roll.
So... This is pretty normal here. What you see now, he's trying to get away from it, right? It tells you, obviously, this is very fear-based, right?
This is the clip I was telling you yesterday. This was after like an hour of working him. I legitimately had bruises all over me after this session.
Buddy, my goal today, I'm trying to make friends with you. I'm trying to give you good stuff. The problem is I just don't think it's going to help anything. You know what I mean?
I feel like this clip is the craziest one. Just as far as the dramatics of it.
Yeah, you got him. Yeah, okay. Chill. Just chill.
Trying to get soothing. Just chill. Just chill. I'm such a fucking lunatic. Like, it's insane, actually.
Chill out, buddy. Chill out. What's that? This now when you're talking?
Crazy.
I just love like the random sporadic.
Well, that was most of those clips were like, so basically throughout the sessions, he would like go fucking batshit bonkers crazy and then have this like fake like 2 minute period of time where he would like stop.
Yeah.
And then you would see he was just like recovering and building up the endurance to then try it again.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, Josh, I'll send you that video.
Yes, please.
So you can put it in. So now all of you can finally say that you saw it. But yeah, so last night we did you were talking about obviously them. So you were saying like how impressed you were, not to make this about his training obviously, but with them, because like when you own a dog like that, like you heard her talking, obviously, it's like you just don't know. Like she was even saying, she's like, she hit a point where she's like, I will literally do anything to make this better.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And the progress that he's been able to make has been like truly incredible. Like he's just like socializing with new people. We obviously took advantage of you being here so that you can go there and just have a new person for him to meet. And like he's basically at a point now where he has like one micro half-assed, barely even a thing outburst every like 3 times that somebody comes over, and it's like so easily correctable and stuff now. So super pumped with that. But yeah, so you like working with the rescue dogs, obviously.
Yeah.
Because of like the commitment that you kind of see out of the owners at that point.
Definitely.
Which is
And
pretty
you know,
cool.
it's the same kind of thing. People are at their wits' end, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where it's this magical thing. You're going to go and you're going to adopt this dog and everything. You're going to live happily ever after.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
stuff starts to happen.
Yeah. It is wild how it just like seemingly comes out of nowhere too with some dogs. You know, like obviously as a trainer, it's like hindsight is always 20/20. Like you could always root it back to like it's started with this thing and then built to this thing and built to this thing and built to this thing. But it's like for an unsuspecting owner, it's like you just hit this point where it's like, holy shit, like it seemingly went from like nothing to like the biggest possible deal ever. And it's like that's kind of our job as a trainer, is to be able to root it back to where it started so we could make sure that long term it doesn't get back to that thing, you know?
Yep.
Right.
We talked about, like, I think one of the biggest things that balanced trainers don't do a good enough job about, but like the force-free community does a very good job with, is getting to the bottom of like root causes of issues. Because if not, like you're going to be constantly fighting that uphill battle and just those behaviors just seeping back to what they were before. So what are like some of your biggest like lessons you learned in rescue? Like you've been doing it for a while now.
Yeah.
Like obviously I'm assuming you've been involved in rescue. You said you started your company in like 2020.
Yeah.
Right?
And I've been involved with rescue since 2018.
Yeah. So that's a long time.
Yeah. I think a really big thing is finding good people to work with.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's, again, the dogs that my rescue takes in, they would just be euthanized other places.
Yeah.
So they're not even given a shot to see if this dog really, truly is not safe to be adopted out.
Yeah.
I told you about my dog, Steve. We were fostering him, and he was surrendered to the rescue, and he was 5 months old.
Yeah.
And he was surrendered because he was growling at people. He was lunging through the crate at the kids in the home and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, that probably is not a dog that was, you know, a right fit for that house.
Yeah, sure.
But I think if he would have ended up at the local shelter, they would have just immediately euthanized him. They wouldn't have given him a shot at all.
Yeah.
And he just needed a chance.
Yeah.
And now he's amazing. He's a really, really great dog. And I think that's just a really big thing that I've taken away from it, is finding good people to work with and rescues that are willing to take your professional advice and opinion on things. And, you know, I also I'll, you know, work with other dogs that have been adopted through the rescue. I always am happy to answer questions and stuff like that. So it's just making sure people are able to follow through with the advice you give.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think it is something else we talked about the other day, which is like, I think people are a little bit delusional to this thing that like most people's individual dog that they have, if they just wound up at the shelter tomorrow, would a lot of them would be on a list that a lot of like shelters and rescues would just euthanize.
Yep.
You know?
Oh yeah.
I think people have a really hard time like understanding like dogs' quirks and just realizing how much of success of dog training has to do with just like owners like accepting their dogs' individual quirks and stuff, and learning to kind of like work around certain things and, you know, improve your dog's threshold but also meet them halfway with things and stuff. Remember when we were in Chicago that one time, we filmed one video that I thought was really good. That was after our session we had with that like soft-coated whatever I forgot what the soft-coated retriever
Wheaton.
or what is it? What are they called? Soft-coated Wheaton
Terrier?
It's not a Wheaton Terrier. I don't know. I'm terrible with dog breeds. Maybe I'll get the AKC book out later.
Oh god.
But anyways, there was this one dog we worked with that had like fucking insane fear issues, man. It lived in downtown Chicago, like right on the Riverwalk and stuff. And like this dog, like they couldn't even take it outside because it was just an absolute disaster. And like we made this video where I was just talking about how like one of the number one variables to success was like people want like there's too many people out there that just like want their dog to be something that they are not and that they will never be. You know what I mean? And it's like why not just look at like, let's make the best out of the dog that we have instead of trying to transform them into something completely different, right? And I think that just gets missed so much, right? And it causes so many issues because, you know, if you can't let go of that idea of like what you want your dog to become, like you'll never learn to accept your dog for who they actually are. Ooh, that's a good moment
Better write
right
that
there.
one down.
Let's write that one down. That'll make a post later.
That should be on a t-shirt.
Maybe put it on a t-shirt. But it's the truth, right? Like, it's like, you know, like if I, like Vinny, I use him as my example all the time. Like if I wanted him to if I had this, like, I was just like, he has to be like a fucking golden retriever. He has to be like Vera was or something like that. Like I never would have like enjoyed him, right? And that was like so much of my butting heads with him when I first got him for the first like 2-3 years of his life, was that I just wanted to I followed all this like advice that everybody said about like, you know, like he should always be calm constantly in the house, and he should never get excited, and like whimpering and whining should go away, and he shouldn't be noisy, and like you could just correct all those things, and like the anxiety and this and that. And it's just like I was like beating my head against the wall every single day with him to try to get him to just be this like normal dog that everybody was saying you could turn any dog into, right? And it just obviously never happened. And I don't even remember exactly what the turning point was, but I hit a point where I was just like, I'm just going to do way fucking less than what I'm doing right now. And I'm just going to start just like letting him be a dog a little bit more.
Right.
And like all his quirks are still there, but like it was like the placebo effect of my relationship with him just got like 400 times better. Because I was just like, oh, like, wow, you like when you get excited when I let you out of your crate, like you spin in your crate really fast, like for, 30 seconds before I let you out. It's like, okay, is that a big deal? Not really. Okay, well, let me just let it slide instead of trying to like every time I let you out of the crate, fucking make you do a downstay and make you wait as the crate door open, like do all this kind of stuff that all it was doing was like creating more fucking energy. Right. Or same deal. Like he used to have a lot of crate anxiety issues, and I used to try to address every single fucking noise that he would make in the crate, right? And I would correct it and this and that. And I remember I would sit outside the room with my e-collar, and just like anytime I would hear even the slightest whine, I would be getting on him over it. Because again, that's what I was like taught that you should be doing. And as soon as I started being like, you know what, as long as you're not like hurting yourself in there or like going totally batshit ballistic crazy, it's fine. And it's like he started getting better in the crate. And then, same deal. When I was like socializing him with people instead of like micromanaging every little interaction that he had, I was like, well, like, let me just let you kind of dictate the pace of this. It's like he started getting more social. And it was because I accepted who he was and I tried to just enhance on him as opposed to transform him completely, right? And I think that people really fucking struggle to do that with their dog. And I'm sure you see that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, not every dog fits the cookie cutter mold.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. What are some of your favorite, do you have any like memorable like cases that you've worked with? From a training standpoint, whether rescue or not?
Yeah, let me think.
Pressure's on.
I know.
Yeah, he likes to do this.
I know. I should have had the list of questions ahead of time.
Yeah, no, he won't.
I wouldn't give it to
He
you.
would have never given
I would
it to
not
you.
have given it to you. I would have sent you the wrong list of questions so you could prepare for something that we wouldn't even talk about. You don't got one that sticks in your head?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hit us with it.
So one of the dogs I worked with pretty early on in my career, it was definitely, he was above my pay grade for sure. So I think I also really learned a lot when I worked with this German Shepherd, because I don't think the owners, they either weren't honest with me or they didn't realize how severe his issues were. So again, like the typical German Shepherd, the stranger danger stuff, trying to go after other dogs through the crate in my house and things like that. And it's as soon as we started giving him different outlets, it just started getting better on its own, where they were, a tale as old as time. We're German Shepherd people. We've always had German Shepherds, but we've never had one like this.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think they were trying to micromanage him so hard that it was making everything
100 times worse.
Where he was basically just in the crate 24 hours a day. They didn't exercise him. They couldn't walk him, so they didn't.
Yeah.
So it's, he wasn't being fulfilled at all. So once, punish the behaviors, get the obedience under control, then we were able to just kind of start having fun together.
Yeah.
And I think that's like the coolest part about dog training is when you start seeing a dog show who they are in a good way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so like the constant control with some of these breeds is like the worst fucking possible thing you could do. That's another thing that I did with Vinny a lot when he was younger, was just like if he was in the house, he was in a downstay or a bedstay constantly, right? Like anywhere we went, it was just like direct control at all times, just like expecting this like militant, like everything is super controlled. And it's like, man, that'll work with some dogs, I think it's fulfilling for them? Absolutely not. But like some dogs will be fine with it and just do okay, but others, man, they will just, you're creating this time bomb of energy.
Yep.
right?
I was gonna say it's like a compounding.
You're compounding all of that energy they have to just be absolutely unloaded at any split second that they have to have that outlet.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's like how reactivity and stuff is created too. So many people don't socialize their reactive dogs enough. So it's like when they see dogs, it's like that's their only outlet for being able to get that fix. So they have these massive explosions because there's nowhere else that they can get it out of their system, you know?
Yep.
And it's like, should they still be able to control it? Like, of course, but like, you know,
Got to give them some outlet.
let's make sure they got some freaking outlets for it.
Yeah.
Where are some areas you feel like you've like grown over the last couple of years as a trainer? Like, what are some things you feel like you used to, you know, do that you don't like anymore, or some areas where you feel like you've just been able to like expand on what you're doing way better than you used to, or things like that?
Yeah. So I think early on it was kind of like what we were talking about, where it's all just very, very strict, and it's you're always on place. You're always in a command. You're not allowed to make any choices on your own, and then we'll either agree or disagree. It's kind of like just preventing you from being able to make your own decisions. And now I find that I am like more loose, where it's, I want to see what decisions you're going to make, and then we'll agree or disagree with them.
Yeah.
And I've also been implementing a lot more play recently, probably the last year or so. And I think it makes a huge difference.
Yeah. What sparked that for you? Like the play thing? Because like I've talked before, like I've been incorporating quite a bit more. And I think a lot of that stems for me from, you know, Ivan and a lot of like the TWC grads have been really pushing a lot of the play stuff, which got me dabbling more into it. But like for you, like where was kind of the catalyst for that?
Same. I actually, just social media. And then I bought Ivan's play course.
Oh, did you? What course specifically is it?
I can't remember.
It's not
play
one.
Is the way or something.
Play is the way. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But just, watching that all the way through, it kind of like a light bulb went off. And 2 years ago, I actually went to a seminar that Larry Crone and J-Jack.
Oh, did you go to one of them?
Yeah.
Cool.
And just seeing it in,
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things, it's kind of hard to even explain.
Yes.
If someone's just you're not visually seeing it, you're kind of like, okay, sure. But to see it actually, to see how people are using it in real time, I think it's pretty fascinating.
Yeah. I asked you the other day if you liked any competitive dog trainers, and you didn't bring Ivan up.
Oh.
You like Ivan?
Yeah.
That's cool. He's a competitive dog trainer.
I know.
Oh my gosh. Cool. Yeah, because I was actually thinking to myself when you said that, I was like, I gotta like get her hip with like Ivan and stuff then at that point, if you're not already, but you already are. Yeah.
Just like, I bought the courses.
Have you seen any of his other videos? Like, have you watched like Chase and Catch or like Possession Games or anything?
I haven't.
Yeah. So those ones are really good.
Yeah.
That gets into like, obviously he talks about how you have like two major, and I'm sure he goes over it in his course as well, but you have like two types of players. You have the more possession style ones and the ones that are more into like the play and catch. And in each of those two videos, basically what he does is he breaks down like in detail how to figure out which one of those your dog kind of falls into, and how to basically play it in as effective of a way as possible to kind of bring out the best in them, which is for sure true. Getting back to like people like wanting their dog to be something they're not. There's so many people that they ask me, they're like, how do I get my dog to bring the toy back to me? And I'm like, well, listen, like you can train that. Like you could train like retrievals and stuff and make it a little bit more of like an interactive game, but maybe your dog just likes possessing things more. And it's like, that's fine. You could just play with them in that way.
Yeah, right.
Or vice versa. People want their dog to be big tuggers and stuff when really all they want to do is go on a field and fucking catch a ball and bring it back to you 400 times.
Yeah.
So, what did you take away from that, the J. Jack Larry seminar, aside from the play stuff?
I'm trying to think back.
Sure. Well, how long? You said like 2 years ago? Something like that?
Maybe 2023.
Yeah. Where was it at? Which one?
I went to Dallas.
Dallas?
Yeah, I visited one of my dog friends down there. So
Yeah.
Nice.
That's cool.
I actually think probably my favorite part is after the seminar was over, they would just kind of hang out and people would ask questions, and people that, maybe didn't pay to bring their dog to the seminar, they would like go home and get them.
Oh, really?
Or go home and get like their foster dog and bring them in. And it was kind of hard to get like the big reactions and stuff because we were in like a conference room in a hotel.
Yeah.
But it was just, for me, it was interesting to just kind of see different techniques because, again, it's like your dog doesn't just have to be on place 24/7.
Yeah.
So again,
100%. When you say what do you mean get the big reactions?
Like dog, like reactivity and stuff like that.
I understand.
Or
So you're
like,
saying like you weren't seeing as many big behavioral issues like
Yeah.
in the middle of the. I understand.
yeah, because
I
it's
understand.
a million people crammed into. The
Yeah.
dogs are like,
Hotel.
where the hell am I?
Like it's a
Yeah.
necessary environment, obviously, but like you do find like we were talking about with like going into neighborhoods and stuff. It is so different for some of these dogs, like being in that environment where they're like, holy shit, like
Yeah.
what is going on around me,
Right.
versus they're like kind of in their own world
Yeah.
for sure. I was Jay, like, was that when he was like, I think he still is, but like, was he really pushing a lot of the Windows stuff then and everything? Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
I went to a J-Jack seminar in Cleveland like 11 years ago. This is when I still worked for something, like before I even owned a dog training company, which now we're in year 11. So yeah, maybe 12 years ago even, I went to this seminar of his, and it's crazy to see how much like he is like grown. Like I still think he has a lot of his, like, how much does he talk about still, like, because he still doesn't use like prongs and e-collars and stuff, right?
Not really, no.
Okay, yeah. He was really adamant at that point. I remember in that seminar that like you cannot use prongs and e-collars with like the dogs that I work with, kind of thing. Like he
Yeah.
was like really in the pit bull world and like the fight. He's like a lot of the dogs, he was like, they're like game pit bulls and like, you know, you use these with them and they just get worse, kind of thing, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So I know he's evolved a little bit from there, but at the time he was really, really into the play stuff still.
Yeah.
He was really starting to push that a lot more on people. But now his seminars, I feel like, have really changed to being way more about, you know, those types of things, where before, like, he was still getting into like, oh, we're going to spend half the day teaching place to the dogs.
Yeah.
And we're going to spend half the day going over like leash handling skills and stuff like that. So it's funny to watch kind of the evolution, like a lot of like how all of us as trainers have started to just like take those things and kind of just be like, this just isn't really serving anywhere near as big of a purpose as it used to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah, and Larry Crone, right before that seminar, he had gone through TWC.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it was, again, it's someone you've been following. You know, he's one of the first guys you start looking, you start
Yeah,
panicking,
sure.
and you're on
Right.
YouTube like, my dog, help.
Yeah.
I think it was interesting too to see how he had evolved in the time that I'd been following him.
Yeah.
From like, you know, e-collar all the way through to the play stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I have his freaking, you know, e-collar training book right there. I remember when he wrote that. Like, I would bet you that virtually everything in there, like, he doesn't even do
Yeah.
anymore. You know,
Yep.
which is interesting and cool. Yeah, it's just what it's. The last couple of years have been so big for the industry. Like, and again, I'm sure you've seen this as well. It's just the amount of like change that's happening and the amount of people that I feel like are just kind of, I don't want to say getting left behind, but like a lot of your traditional just like training with the e-collar and just place constantly and all that kind of stuff. Like there are still a lot of people that are doing that, but there's just, people are doing things in such a different way. Like even when you scroll through like Instagram and stuff, like everybody is changing their approaches to things right now, which I think is very productive. But I'm just curious what the counter swing is going to be on it, because I think a lot of people are going to get a little bit too far in the play direction and ditch any degree of like control with these dogs.
Yeah.
And then we're going to start running into a lot of new issues where like, sure, we could all take our dog to fields and like let them run around off leash and like play with them and like have fun and like build good relationships with things and stuff like that. But then you start getting into like, you take them to like busy populated places and this and that, but the level of control we have is like so much lower than we used to.
Right.
Like I'm so interested to see kind of what that balance is going to kind of look like with things. And that's something that I've tried to avoid doing, is going too far in any particular direction with it. Like there's still like, I look at what like a lot of those guys are doing and I think it's really fucking cool. And like I said, there's so much that I've taken from it, but I'm trying not to ditch too much the like, hey, we still need these dogs to just, regardless of if they're playing or happy or this or that, to just listen to us still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? So yeah, that's been big for me for sure. What other any other big cases that you've had that kind of stand out to you? Any other big I don't know, what big like standout learning moments you've had as a dog trainer?
Yeah, I worked with this dog, Ellie, and she was, you know, we've always had dogs and they've always been so easy. And then they adopt this pit bull and she's super fearful. She's peeing literally through the floor into the basement of their house.
Nice.
She would drool so badly in her crate that they literally couldn't tell if she had an accident or if it was, you know,
Oh, wow.
slobber from being stressed.
Yeah.
And all she like they were struggling for so long with her, and then they brought her to me for training, and she just needed some rules, basically. It was because she was so used to just being in this like crazy fight or flight panic. I don't know what to do with myself kind of a thing. And then as soon as we taught her, like, just go lay down. Just go relax over there. We're going to go for a walk, and you don't need to constantly have your head on a swivel, and you don't need to be worried about what's going on. Like, I will take care of it for you. And now it's like, it's just a complete 180, and she's great.
And that was done through just like kind of giving direction, I'm assuming. So isn't that interesting? Like that's kind of like counter to what we were just talking about, which is like give them more freedom and more ability to make choices and stuff. And then there are still some of those dogs that like you do that, it's like they need that direction.
She's looking for guide. Like I need someone to tell me what to do.
There's this dog we're going to see tomorrow that's similar to this that I've been working with. His name's Archie, and he's a super fucking anxious German Shepherd. And he's got some aggression issues too. Like he'll definitely bite you given the opportunity. Right? He doesn't want to be, you know what I mean? Like he's definitely just like anxious and like really just reacting in those moments. But nonetheless, he's got some bites on him. And we try to do a lot of the same stuff initially with him where it was like, let's let him make choices and just build positive associations. And I tried to take initially a bit of an approach like we did with Ollie, because we kind of detailed yesterday Ollie's approach and what I did with him. I tried to take that approach with it, but we got like 4 or 5 sessions into it, and it started becoming very clear that also just wasn't really working.
Right.
He was just too spiraled. You know what I mean? And like he wasn't even like doing anything wrong at any particular time for me to be able to correct for or anything, but he was just so fucking anxious, right? And I altered course in our last session actually with him. Actually, the end of the session before the last one, right? So this will be the second full session tomorrow that we've done with this kind of newer approach, if you will, where it's like we're still trying to create the positive associations. I'm still trying to be easy on you. I'm still trying to give you these opportunities to open up and play and do things like that. But like, dude just needed to be told what to do. And he needed to be held accountable for doing it. And as soon as we started doing that, it was like you could see like his total like association with me and like how I was working with him and stuff like that. Like he just loosened up. He was finally letting me pet him and like realizing it was okay. And like it just got better. Right. So that's what I mean about that counterbalance. I think too many people might start hitting a point where they look at a dog like that and they just perpetually try to just give freedom to make choices and bring the best out of them with play, when like it's okay to be like, hey dude, like we're just going to work some downstays right now. Right. And you've got to do the downstays. It's just not optional. Right. So that's an interesting case, obviously. I'll be interested to see how he does with you. That might be another one I have you kind of work him a little bit too. But differently than we did, like Ollie, I just had you like petting him and giving him treats and stuff. This dog, I might have you actually just like work him a little bit, So that'd be cool. So you obviously, I think one good thing you've been doing, especially since this is a problem I see a lot of trainers run into that just kind of train by themselves, is they don't ever get out and see like. They get too in their bubble, right? So you said you have made a conscious effort to try to like every year go and do some type of shadow program, some type of, workshop or things like that so that you can kind of see what other people are doing. How many different things have you done now? I mean, so you did Larry, you said you've been down to Jeff's place a couple times, Sean, Uz. The K9
training. And then Bethany Johnson, and she's in Orlando. She's walking dog training. I know who that is. Yeah, they did just a business seminar that I went to, which was cool. It was all female dog trainers, just kind of talking about like social media and like the business side of it. I try to do something at least once a year where, I think it's cool to learn new things, meet people. I pick up friends everywhere I've been, so it's really fun to like build the community because I don't have that. I work by myself, and I just, there aren't a lot of people that do what I do in Pittsburgh. Yeah.
So obviously, I mean, as you do, like we all know, like every dog trainer has their own spin on things, and like some things that are good, some things that are bad, some things that are in between. I mean, like there's plenty of, even like people that I like and follow, like things where like each individual trainer kind of contradicts themselves, not themselves individually, but the other like a little bit, as far as like one is saying do it this way, one is saying do it this way. How do you navigate all of the different information that's kind of you're receiving from so many different types of trainers?
Yeah, I think now because I started my business in 2021. Yeah. So I feel like I've kind of been through a lot of it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of what we were just talking about, where the same exact technique or, whatever might work for one dog, and then you have to change your approach.
Yeah.
And I think something that I've learned is that you don't have to do things the same exact way with every dog.
Yeah, sure.
Where you're trying something one way at the beginning of a session with a client, and it's like, let's just try something else. Mm-hmm. And I think I am now feeling confident enough to just try stuff. And if it doesn't work, that's okay.
Did you ever fall into the trap initially when you were getting started of, I use this word loosely on the podcast all the time, but like trainer hopping from the standpoint of like really trying to do it like exactly the way one trainer does, and then like having holes in it and then moving to another one? Or
yeah, I think that's how I got when it came to e-collar conditioning. You have to condition the e-collar condition,
Yeah.
and now
I
it's
did
like,
the same thing for sure.
And now it's like, just relax. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be this like crazy methodical
Yes.
thing where you have to work through all these different phases, and you have to stay in this phase
Yeah,
for
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
specific number of days. And just because a dog is getting it and they're moving fast, you still
Yeah.
have. It's like, I just am much more relaxed, I think.
The e-collar,
Yeah.
there's just something about the fucking e-collar, man, that like people just like view it like it's this like something from outer space that needs to be done in, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? This
Yeah.
like insane way. But like, we don't think about leashes that way. You know what I mean? We don't think about like food that, I mean, I guess you could break it down still as far as like there are principles to it, but it's like when we use a leash, there is just kind of this fluid, like sometimes I'm using positive punishment, sometimes I'm using negative reinforcement, I'm using varying intensities based on just how it's feeling in the moment. It's like we're not even thinking about it. But with the e-collar, we just don't, like, you should be treating it the same way,
Yeah.
but we're just not.
Right.
Yeah.
And it gets so fucking it gets so confusing. I remember when I first started using e-collars, it was the same thing. Like, I was like, damn, I have to do it this way. And then, at the time, when I learned e-collars, I learned them from Tyler Muto. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but I went out to his place to learn how to use e-collars a couple of times. And, he had a very, same deal, systematized way of introducing it, where we need the food drive up. And, like, it wasn't like it was negative reinforcement, but he was really trying to kind of combine the negative reinforcement and the activation side of things, where it's like that sensation, though it's a negative, should still kind of be eliciting the positive out of the dog and stuff. And like, you would work with some dogs, and I remember no matter how hard I tried, there were some dogs that when I would try to do it in his way, they just didn't look how I wanted them to look.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like, no matter what, it still was a negative to the dog.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And like, it worked, like the negative reinforcement worked, but I had this picture in my head of what it should look like. And that was a big thing that threw me off a lot, because I even tried harder. I was like, oh, maybe I'm working too high. Maybe I'm working too low. But then I would lose the whole reason why the e-collar was working in the first place.
Yep.
And then it's like, why am I even using this tool? And like, I ran into a ton of issues when I first started training due to a lot of that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So, e-collars, I don't know, man. They're,
Yeah.
you just use them.
Imagine if you get a new dog and then you're like, hey buddy, I'd love to take you on a walk, but we got to condition you on this leash for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you'll get a walk.
Well, listen, like I said, there are some things where it's like you could take your time teaching them and, build the foundations and stuff like that. But like, no, yeah, like I don't know. I just, the prong is such an easy tool for people to understand. Like you get a dog in for training, you put a prong collar on them, right away you can start teaching your skills. Like, you don't have to go through this whole song and dance with it. But the e-collar is just different, man. It's just different. So, what do you want to see out of your business this year? Like, what's some of your goals? Because I know you came here obviously because you were looking to see more of like a facility side of things, because you're kind of considering your next steps, if you will, right?
Yep.
What do you want to see out of the company?
This is another one that he does to me all the time too. He like doesn't tell me, and then he's like, asks me these
I
philosophical...
did send you some that other day though. Remember?
Yeah,
Did you think on those at all?
I've been thinking, well,
Next episode.
But yeah, he'll do this to me, and I'm like, I feel like I need to be prepared for this,
Yeah.
and he's like, no, you have to be on the spot.
That's right.
Yeah, so I think I definitely still do like working out of my house.
Sure.
But I think I'm very close to getting to a point where I need a little bit of help. So for me, it's figuring out exactly what that's going to look like. Probably someone that I can have come in a couple days a week to help me walk dogs, do socials and clean and all that kind of stuff. But I think the big thing for me is I want to keep growing with the board and trains. I like board and trains much better than private lessons. So kind of just focusing on that. I stopped offering private lessons at the end of last year. And I think it's really helping me be able to focus more consistently just on the board and trains, and then follow-up support after training is over with my owners.
How many board and trains do you do right now?
It depends, usually between like 2 and 4 dogs at a time.
Yeah.
So I think another thing I need to focus on is setting a schedule for myself and sticking to it, because I'm at that point with my business where you look at the calendar and it's like, oh, what's one more? So it's just, it gets to a point where it's like you're just working 24/7, and I'm very thankful. And how many people get to say they do what they love? They get to help people, they get to help dogs, they get to own their own business. Like, I have the perfect job for me, but it's just kind of setting more boundaries of, okay, I said I was going to take this weekend off, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah, you can't burn the candle at both ends, because that's how you just burn yourself out. No matter, even if you love it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you in the beginning.
Yeah.
This dude lived at the facility.
Yeah. Yeah, I've gotten better with that. I take my time off. I've got a good schedule with that.
Yeah.
These days.
Finally, yeah.
Yeah, I think, I tell everybody all the time, just get some fucking help. But, like, everybody's so focused on initially when they hire help, they're like, oh, let me get a trainer. I need a trainer. I was like, don't get a fucking trainer, right? You're going to train dogs better than your trainer's going to train dogs. And if you freed up all the other bullshit that you're doing, you could train more dogs then, and you could make more money, and you have less work.
Yeah, and that's definitely the point I think I'm at.
I mean, I'm sure you obviously know there's probably hours and hours of things that you're doing per day that would be so easy to hire help for. And training dogs is not one of those things. Right?
Absolutely.
So that's the biggest thing that I see people do, and you could also kill two birds with one stone, where if you got somebody coming in 5 days a week to help you, and so you could sleep in the morning, and they could take care of the dogs in the morning, and then you can go out and do walks with them, and then they could maybe take some videos for you, because you said obviously setting up the tripod's a little tricky sometimes, and then you got more content too. That'd be pretty sick.
Yeah. Take some of the hats, give them to other people.
Take some hats, hand them off.
Yeah.
Awesome. I like it. Hold on. I want to bring up though. What is that thing that I sent you though? I'm gonna hit you both with one of those questions here.
Oh, jeez.
Let's make this interesting.
No.
I got it. Here we go. Oh, this is gonna be good.
Where'd
We're
you
gonna
send
do
that
an
to?
entire episode of this though, Josh.
Okay.
But I'll hit you guys each with one of these.
Did you send me that in a text?
Yeah, I sent it in a text. Okay. Yeah. You guys get to pick which one of these you want to answer.
Panel discussion questions.
Questions. Where do you get your resilience from? Is question number 1. Where do you get your work ethic from? Is question number 2. How did you develop your confidence and self-esteem? Is question number 3. That's the one that I answered. Where does your I don't like that one. Where does your generosity come from? That's a lame question.
What, being generous is lame?
No, it's fine, but it's where did you develop it from? I don't know. Just being a good person. How about that? Where did you overcome imposter syndrome? Or how did you overcome imposter syndrome? You ever struggle with that?
Yeah.
I never overcame it.
Do you get imposter syndrome too?
Yeah, every day. I think I suck at everything.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Get
out of here.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Continue.
What are you saying? What?
No, I was just saying.
I'm just surprised. I'm a little surprised.
Yeah, no, dude. I recorded vocals the other day. I was like, God, I stink.
Really?
And then they were like, this is amazing. Or I'd go take photos. I'm like, these are terrible. And then after a week, I'm like, all right, yeah, that was pretty good.
All right. Being the only one in the room, how have you learned to be effective and successful even when you are the only one in the room that looks like you? That one doesn't even make sense. Where does your optimism come from, or how did you find your purpose? Oof. Any of those stand out to you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Which one?
Well, Josh, why don't you start?
What? She's
Unless
ready.
she wants to start.
Yeah,
Are you ready?
Ready.
You're ready to rock and roll?
I can answer a question.
All right.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Yeah. All right. Let's see it.
So I think the work ethic question for me. Because when I was little, I used to tell everyone that I was going to own a pet store one day.
That's cool.
I from a very young age, I kind of knew I wanted to own a business. Yeah. Because my dad has always owned his own business.
Oh yeah, you did say that.
Yeah. So I grew up seeing my dad. He owns a shop where they do auto electrical work on cars.
That's pretty cool.
But, you know, growing up, my dad, he busted his ass and he worked really long hours, but, you know, he grew his business into something that he's very proud of. So seeing that, and then I just have kind of always, I've had a job since I was 15. So I've always, you know, worked different places. And then once, you know, you graduate from college, you go and you get the corporate job and you're just working for someone else and you're not really, you know, doing what you love. So when I started getting into dog training, I was like, the light bulb went off, really, where I was like, wait, I think I can do this.
Yeah.
I can own my own business. I can work for myself. I can, like I said, help people, help dogs. And then so when COVID happened, that's when I finally was like, I'm going to give it a shot. So I was working for 3 years. I worked 2 jobs, like 2 full-time jobs. I worked 40 hours a week in my corporate job. And then I started my board and train business and private lessons.
Oh, so you did that while you, so this is interesting.
For
Okay.
3 years, I did both.
Yeah.
And my clients would always be like, I'm shocked. I would have no idea that you were also. So I was a manager at a company that I told you did.
Yes.
They do international logistics. So when people move from country to country for their job, we would move all their household goods.
Okay.
So I managed a team of people at that job while I was getting my business going.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like an insane job, by the way. Like,
It's
dealing with getting people's stuff on other country soil.
Yeah.
That sounds
It's
terrible.
a lot.
Yeah, so like would you just like, would you work with like the actual like movers and like all the like?
Yeah, coordinate everything. So schedule the movers, trucking, customs paperwork. And these people have some crazy stuff like original Andy Warhol paintings. And I need to move my 500 bottle wine collection from France to the U.S.
Oh my
So you had to figure out how to do that?
Yeah.
That's hard to do.
We did
right?
pet relocations, all of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
So that is another thing that I think was interesting that I forgot that I wanted to bring up is you mentioned a couple times, like one of the first things, like when you got here on Monday, I was talking about like, oh yeah, are you documenting this? Are you doing that? Are you doing this? Whatever. Cause like there's so many mistakes that a lot of trainers don't do. Right. And you had mentioned, yeah, because you were in that side of the corporate world, like your documentation of stuff is like superior. It's very good.
Yeah.
Right. So what words of advice do you have to newer trainers, right, that are maybe don't have the background of a corporate job that they're very detailed with?
Yeah. I think communication is number one.
Sure.
So getting back to people right away and just making sure you're putting literally every single thing in writing.
Yeah.
Because if you can refer back to something, it's the easiest way to kind of say, I told you so without,
Yeah.
True.
without having to say, I told you so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just documenting everything and being super responsive to your clients, because I think that sets you apart immediately. If people are, going around looking at different trainers, the faster you get back to people, I think the more likely they are to want to work with you.
Yep.
Right. 100%.
That's a direct, like, look at it this way. Like, if you take 5 days to get back to somebody that reaches out to you that wants to give you money, what do you think the message you're sending to them is going to be that once they've given you the money, what the communication is going to look like?
Yep. Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure you have it happen all the time. People work with other trainers and they say, this person just stopped responding to me. They stopped showing up. They stopped scheduling
Literally.
lessons. And I'm like,
actually, people will tell me all the time, yeah, I was working with this trainer and then they just stopped coming to the lessons.
yep.
Like, what?
What? Yeah, like actually though, like I couldn't even imagine
Right.
ghosting somebody that gave me money.
Right.
Like
Right.
what?
100%.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, but yeah, it blows my mind. Like the level of professionalism in dog trainers is like at an all-time low, I feel like. Because we just are like, oh, we fucking love dogs and we want to work with dogs. But it's like, bro, like be good with people.
Yeah. It's a people business, right?
Josh, you got your question ready?
Yeah, I think mine's about the optimism.
Oh, the
But
optimism.
I don't know. It's like, where did your thing go? I don't know. It's like a cross between the work ethic and optimism, I would guess.
Hit them both.
I don't know. Well, my optimism comes from I play life like a game. You know,
Okay.
like
What is this like? You're like
No, no.
mafiaing it right now.
no. It's
Hey, life is a game.
I realized very early on that I guess I was able to open up that I got one life, right? I got to figure out what I want to do because I told you I was from Southern Indiana.
Southern Indiana.
1,500 people in my town. It was like, if I don't get out of here, I'm going to work on a farm. I'm going to work in a factory.
Which honestly, these days doesn't sound that bad sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, maybe I shouldn't
Like
have done
sometimes I'm like, man, like farm life kind of sounds like it might be kind of nice sometimes.
that. Yeah. But it wasn't what I wanted to do. I was a little metalhead trying to be in a band in southern Indiana. It was like, if I wanted to go, if we had a show, if 10 people showed up, I was like, hell yeah, it's packed, you know? So I moved up here. My dad's side of the family's from up here. But I was like, I want to go be in a band. I want to do this thing, you know?
Go to the big city.
Got to go to the big city of Cleveland.
That's right.
Boy, I screwed that one up, didn't I?
Yeah.
But ever since then, I mean, I was 18. You know, I tried college for one semester, and I was like, fuck this. And I moved up here, and I created something. I was very optimistic. I was like, I'm going to go up there, and I'm just going to make this huge band, man. And I mean, that one didn't actually, but it got me to
took a couple iterations.
Yeah, it took a couple iterations, but then I wasn't a national touring act for a while. And I just kept that same drive the whole time. I'm like, well, I was able to do that. I'm going to be a photographer now. You can ask him. I was a general manager at a restaurant at the time, and I was just like, man, this sucks. I'm going to be I had one buddy that was trying to. Do you know who Casey Neistat is? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's trying to be Cleveland Casey Neistat, and I was like, I want to do that. So I just loaded the credit cards up, and I was like,
load them up.
Yeah, I was like, I got a laptop, I got a drone, I got a camera. Let's go. And I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And here we are, 8 years later. Now I have my own successful business, and now I'm like, well, now I want to start a gym. Now I want to do a podcast. It's my optimism. It gets me in trouble with my girlfriend a lot. She's like, you want to do everything. I'm like, yeah, I do. I just want to go out and I just want to succeed in things that I want to do. And that is where my optimism comes from, and my work ethic, because now I'm like trying to do 4 different things and like busy all the fucking time now.
Yeah.
But I love it. I don't want it any other way. So
I think I feel like my optimism comes from like a deep pessimism. This is weird. This sounds weird, right? So like
I'm so pessimistic, I'm optimistic.
No. Like I will I tend to hold on.
Yeah, you got to gather on this one, buddy.
I got to gather this one a little bit. I just got to figure out how I'm going to frame it and make sure I'm saying it correctly. So I always put things into perspective, because I don't know if I necessarily have this like deep optimism all the time. Like I'm a like when it comes to people and stuff like that, I'm always a like see the good in people, this, that, blah, blah, blah kind of person. Mm-hmm. But like from a situation standpoint, I could be pretty pessimistic about things of like, oh fuck, like you can even ask Kate, like when we had our New Year's Eve party this year, right? And like we had the most banging New Year's Eve party the year before. And I told Kate like a couple days before, because we didn't send out our invites for it until like a week before it or something like that. And I was panicking like 3 days before, like, oh my God, this is going to be the fucking worst. This is going to be nowhere near as cool as our last New Year's Eve party. And that's something stupid like that, right? So like big picture situations, like the company and like what's going on with it, and like, you know, like staying in business and stuff like that. Like I could get very pessimistic about those things sometimes.
Yeah.
But every time I do that, I will like constantly frame things into perspective of like, what is the fucking worst thing that could happen right now? And then I'll like just dwindle it down further and further and further. And then I'll be like, okay, if the absolute worst thing possible happened, what will I do to make sure it's still fine? And I'll kind of detail that out in my mind. And then I'm like, oh, okay. Like, well, I guess that's really not that bad. Right? Yeah. Like even the worst case scenario, it might suck a little bit, but like I could just do this, this, and this, and I'll be fine.
Right.
So that helps me constantly be optimistic then about situations, because I take the pressure off of myself because of my pessimism about things. Okay. Do you get? Did I come full circle there?
Yeah. Yeah, that makes more sense. I'm just like, he's so pessimistic. He's optimistic about how it's going to be.
Yeah. But I do that constantly. Yeah. Constantly with shit.
Yeah.
What about what was here? What was the, I want to know your answer to the.
Oh, now
this is turning into this episode now.
Yeah, I was like,
this is cool. I like this. Hold on, I gotta pull it up again. God damn it. Yeah. See, I like this one.
He's like, you guys didn't answer the ones I wanted.
Yeah.
How did you develop your confidence and self-esteem? Josh, this one is kind of, I know you like just kind of answer that you just magically have a ton of confidence, but
Yeah. How did I develop
how do you develop it? You just always had it or what?
confidence, yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I don't know. Like, I have an overconfidence problem. I'm one of those guys that like, yeah, I'll figure that out.
Yeah.
You know, like, I would say the first time was, I was a band nerd. I was in marching bands.
What'd you play?
Percussion, dude.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What percussion?
Well, I started out on xylophone.
Oh, that's lame percussion. That's the lamest percussion there is.
Exactly. I was like, oh, I don't want to be freaking as
We don't want to play
xylophonist.
notes.
No.
Like,
And then,
we play rhythms.
And we had like the drum line, you know. And,
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I want to be in the drum line. I was like, I'm going to be the snare captain.
Hey. Snare drum.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I was snare drum.
Yeah.
I would have been captain too, but the band director got mad at me because I got in a fight on the drum off one time.
Oh my god! But I was like, I'm going to be the snare. I'm going to be the drum captain. I'm going to be the drum line captain. And then when seventh grade came around, I was the youngest one to ever get on the drum line.
Let's go.
And then by freshman year, I was the drum captain.
Did you guys play traditional style or standard?
Yep.
Oh, see, I played just standard. We did standard. We weren't that cool.
Yeah.
Nice. That's
We can have a drum off. But yeah, that's I have an overconfidence issue because I've always just been like I guess what do you call it, a go-getter.
A go-getter.
Yeah, I'm a go-getter. Yeah. Self-esteem, yeah, that goes with the whole imposter syndrome. I do it and then I'm like, wow, I'm the suckiest person. Like I'm the worst drum captain ever. And then I'm like, oh, and then I was like, no, you're not. And I'm like, oh, okay.
That's all it took?
That's
no, you're not. Man, I wish it was that easy.
I know. Yeah, there's a lot of conflicts inside my brain sometimes, all right? It's like, I'm good. Oh, I suck. I'm good. Oh, I suck. Does anyone else? Anybody?
Yes.
Just me? Okay.
What's the question?
I just asked it. Josh, can you ask the question again? I'm pulled up.
How did you develop your confidence and self-esteem?
I don't know.
You don't know? Come on.
Again, I think it's just kind of like through trial and error, like what we were talking about. We were talking about this last night. Kind of, it's like eye-opening to come and see other people working with dogs because in my mind, if things aren't perfect, it's like, I'm horrible at this. I need to go find it. I quit. It's over. Close the doors. There is no more business.
Yeah.
So I think the more I see the way other people do things, it helps me realize like, no, you actually are okay at this. You can do it.
Yeah.
And for me, I think it's kind of hard working by myself.
Sure.
Because you don't have someone right there that you can like bounce things off of and say like, hey, I'm just having kind of a bad day. Can you help me with, can you take this over?
Yeah.
So sometimes I just need like a little bit of a reality check, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That it's like, you should be confident in what you're doing because you are good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trust me. Like, all I do is like, if I'm not at a restaurant, I'm shooting because I'm a food photographer. When I'm just at home, it's just me editing, and then it's like, do I bounce off my girlfriend? I'm like, hey, am I doing a good job? Like, she's not. She's going to be like,
My husband's like, I don't know what's the question.
Yeah, yeah. She's gonna be like, yeah, you're great. I'm like, you don't know, you don't know, but I get that.
Okay, so where all these questions came from, are you hip to the Voyage magazine stuff? Mm-hmm. You haven't seen that?
No. They've asked me like 14 times to do it.
Oh, you haven't done it?
No.
Well, bro, I keep referring them to you, which is why, and you keep shooting them down.
Oh,
are
really?
you fucking kidding me? I just referred them again to you like a couple days ago.
All right. Well, then now.
So you gotta fucking do it.
You didn't
Jesus
tell me.
Christ.
You didn't tell me.
I thought you would have just jumped on the offer when they asked you.
I don't know. It seemed like a scam.
It's not a scam.
Okay.
Okay. So there's this thing, Voyage magazine, and they do like virtual interviews of people that are doing interesting things, right? Mm-hmm. And then they post a little article of it and stuff like that. So Voyage magazine, I did like their initial interview, which is just kind of like about yourself and this and that. And they just reached out to me the other day saying, hey, they're launching a new thing called Bold Journey. It's done by the same people, but It's on specific topics as opposed to just about the individual, right?
Okay.
So I did it, and in it, that's where it had you pick from those questions to like basically write a blurb on it, et cetera, right? So I did that, right? And I chose that last one of the confidence and self-esteem thing.
Is that a picture I took?
No, I took this on my phone.
How old is that? That's an old
It's
man.
fucking old. Old.
Okay.
It's a cool picture, though.
Yeah, it is. It is the whole pack walk.
That's right. Okay, so here was my answer for it, and I had time to prepare for this. So sorry if I show you guys up. Just kidding.
Jeez.
Must be nice.
Yeah, it is.
So I put confidence comes through competency. Oof, you like that? That should go on a T-shirt too. I think there's a push right now for people to just magically develop a persona of being confident in themselves and the work that they do. What is missed is that not everyone starts out being capable of doing well in whatever discipline they are in. We will all feel a bit self-conscious or insecure as we are learning, and that is okay. We should use those feelings to drive us to learn more, fill in the gaps where we become uncomfortable, face our insecurities from a logical state of mind of addressing the issues in our life we may be avoiding. As we chip away at the layers of this, you will not only become confident in the skill or task you were not competent in before, but you will develop an immense sense of self-esteem and self-confidence in knowing that you have the power to overcome hurdles and knowledge gaps in the future. This is how my confidence and self-esteem has grown over time. Man. Put it in a Tony Robbins book. Put it in a Tony Robbins book.
This guy used to do a freaking blog. Too.
I was a blogger once upon a time.
Yeah, so he's got it down.
Yeah, so that was my answer on it. But you know what's funny is like, let's equate this back to dogs for a minute. Sure. Like, people always ask, like, how do I get my dog to... We do all these things for, like, confidence building, right? Like, how many times do you see people post, like, I'm doing confidence building exercises with the dog? Yeah. But, like, what the fuck does that actually mean? It means becoming competent in something, right? Like, we see dogs go through this phase where when they lack confidence, they don't have the competency at whatever skill it is we're trying to get them to do. Yeah. So as they become more competent in that thing, they become more confident then in that thing. And I think that's something that we could look at and learn from as we're working with dogs, is if you want them to become more confident, I'm going to get those words fucking mixed up now. Stop focusing on 8,000 different things to try to build confidence. Focus on one thing and get the dog really fucking good at that one thing, right? Whether it's socializing with people or socializing with dogs or overcoming a hurdle that they can't do, like a physical hurdle like stairs or an agility equipment or something like that. And just continue to create competency in whatever thing that you think they're lacking confidence in, and they will just improve with it. And I think that would be a good takeaway from this for dog-related stuff.
There you go.
So
be competent.
Be competent. Hell yeah. Josh, you got any good questions or things you want to bring up past that? Oh, I have one more thing. I'm sorry. I do have one more thing I forgot. I keep forgetting I write notes down. Josh, one thing that I think that I'm going to give you some flowers here. You ready?
Oh, thank you.
One thing I think that you've always done an excellent job with, that I think people in the dog industry can learn, and I'm sure you are obviously good at doing this as well, is you've always been really good at just building good relationships with people.
Oh, thank you.
Like, okay, so I don't even mean on like a professional level, right? Like, you are a relationships guy. Mm. And you know when the first time I really realized that was at your Dread show. When you were just like, you had so many people that came out to see you, but like, and I don't mean this against Dread by any means, but I'm sure a lot of those people were not there because they're huge Dread fans.
Yeah, it's a first show.
Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, right? Yeah, they're there because you've just built really great sound relationships with people, and they want to support Josh Dobe, the human being. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And that is such a skill that you need to have if you want to succeed in business, that if you don't have it, because I do not have it. I am not like, I have like 4 friends, right? Like I'm terrible at socializing with people. Like that's not, it's just not me. You know what I mean? But I have forced myself to, at least within the context of my business, make an effort to like actively be friends with, and I don't mean like, oh God, we're going to fucking brunch together and stuff like that. But like to be friends with the clients that come in and try to like find things that we have in common and just like build a strong relationship where like I like them, they like me. And it's not this fake thing of like, oh wow, like, yeah, we're friends, but actually I fucking hate you on the side kind of thing. It's like I actually look at that, I can look at them and be like, wow, like what you do is really cool. Like I like that. I'm interested in you. I'm interested in your dog. I'm interested in all these kinds of things. And I think that is just a skill that, whether we're aware of it or not, like we all should focus more on developing. And you guys can feel free to piggyback off of that if you want to, and add any pieces for the young viewers on building relationships.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, I mean, I appreciate that, but I guess I am a talker. I always tell you that I am not a social person, but I guess I am. I mean, those connections personally, like in my business relationships, I mean, you saw, he got onto me because I only posted 3 times last year on my business page. Yeah.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah. And he was like, how did you still have work? But it's because all these people word of mouth me. Yeah. Like everyone would just tell people to hire me because they liked working with me.
Yeah.
I'm not relying on that this year. That's why he was yelling at me earlier to post. But I think a good thing is always keep a good rapport with people. Even here's your
that's a good one.
Here's your flowers, because there's been a couple instances where I know that he's had some less than desirable clients come in, and a lot of people would just be like, screw you, whatever. He gave him
stop showing up to the lessons.
Yeah.
Just don't answer the phone ever again.
Yeah. But he
block them.
He was like, yeah, okay, full refunded him, whatever. Yep. Hope the best for you, Yep. And that's the best thing you do, because what can they say? Oh, this piece of shit gave me all my money back after he traded my dogs full. Like you give them nothing to stand on. So as long as you kill them with kindness, I mean, there's no negative.
Yeah, and that's something I am. Here are your flowers again, David.
Stop giving me flowers. I don't want them.
That's like something I've really taken away since I've been here, is that the way you can, it's like, it's just support. It's, maybe this person only paid for this number of lessons, but like you're going to see it through and make sure that the dog and the owner are in the best place they can possibly be. And I feel like that's something a lot of dog trainers on the business side, it's like everything has a dollar amount attached to it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's really important to just, it's not always about making money off of things.
Yeah.
Because you want to make sure you're doing the best job you can, but you also, that person's going to keep coming back to you. They're going to send you more clients, and just building that relationship. It's like having that good reputation is more important than making a couple bucks sometimes, I think.
Yeah. Two things. Yeah. One, just on that note, the one thing I tell people a lot is there is a big difference between clients having a really good experience with you and having a absolutely undeniably ecstatic experience working with you. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think too many people settle for, oh yeah, my client was happy. And I'm like, okay, but were they happy, or were they like so happy that they're raving about you to other people? And if you're not achieving the latter, you need to raise the bar of like how you're viewing, what your success should look like at the end of the day, right? But past that, in our conversations that we've had, I appreciate the flowers, thank you. But like you've had that mindset on a lot of things, which is really good. And yeah, as you were saying, like going and doing these shadow programs, I think if anything helps because you're by yourself, just kind of reiterate the good things that you're already doing and know, okay, well, I'm already doing this, but like, let's triple down on it, or let's just make sure I'm keeping it as like a focal point of the company, right?
Yep.
Or from the bad things, it's like, okay, like I'm already not doing those things, but let's still really make sure I'm not doing those things kind of thing, right? Yep. So yeah, no, I think, since you've been here, I think one of the coolest things, I was telling Kate about this, like I think so far you've probably been, we've had a decent amount of shadows come down. I would say in the last couple of years, at least a dozen, I would say probably 12 shadow students come down, and you're probably at a little bit higher of like a knowledge level than most of them that have come here. Which is great, right? Like I think that's your kind of flowers here.
Flowers.
Like
Thanks.
a lot of these things that I'm coaching people through when they come down here, like I'm not really needing to do with you so much because like you have a good understanding of a lot of this kind of stuff. You have a good understanding of like more of the business side of things because of the corporate world and stuff. And you're doing good work, and you're already, whether you're actively doing it or not, you're like on the path to making sure that like when you experience these types of things, like you already know kind of how you're going to handle it and stuff like that. So like I'm super, to kind of like wrap it up, like I've been super happy to have you down here. Obviously it's been really great. I wish the weather fucking sucked. I mean, it literally is really fucking bad. Not that we want to keep talking about it, obviously. So yeah, like I would obviously love for you to come back down in the summer sometime for a couple of days and just kind of see a little bit more of that side of things. But no, it's been really great having you here, and I think you're going to be doing awesome stuff over the next little bit when you're back home. So
Thank you.
do you have anything you want to, any nuggets of knowledge or anything you want to leave people to wrap it up, or no?
No, I don't think
No
so.
nuggets of knowledge. All right, fine.
The end.
Awesome. Well, damn, that was almost an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I feel like we really got rolling at the end there.
Yeah.
See, look at it. You get
Yeah.
some little props you got to pull
There you
out,
go.
some little prompts.
Yeah.
That's what happens. We gotta do more of that. Cool. This was good. Until next time.
Oh, do you want to tell them where they can find you?
Oh yeah, I was kind of alluding to that as well, actually. Yeah.
Sure. My Instagram handle is Everywhere Dog Training, and my website is everywheredogtraining.com.
Yeah.
There.
Cool.
Give her a follow.
All right. Until next time.
See you.
See you then.